of the Public Protector 2016, this House gave this committee until the 31st of August 2016 to submit this report. Madam House Chairperson, we did as mandated. The report was submitted on the 30th August 2016. Honorable House Chairperson, consistent with the provisions of Section 193, subsection 5 of the Republic of South African Constitution, Act 108 of 1996, which stipulates the multi-party character of this committee entrusted with this very important responsibility of identifying a suitably qualified person who is a fit and proper with the demonstrable abilities to act independently without fear, favor, or prejudice. The committee has remained true to this provision. The recommendations that we are tabling on the 7th day of September 2016 is a consensus candidate by all political parties, excluding the Democratic Alliance, which resolved to reserve its position. Of critical importance, Chairperson, this process marked the strengthening of the social contract we have with the citizens of the Republic of South Africa. The public interest in this process was unparalleled. The candidate we are tabling for the consideration by this House stems not only from the ad hoc committee deliberations, but from the members of the public who made it clear who they wanted. It gives me the great pleasure, Madam Chairperson, to announce that South African democracy is becoming stronger each day. Our citizens expect us to carry their mandate. As such, Madam Chairperson, all political parties except for only one were persuaded by this esteemed call from our people. Each party had to reconsider whatever standpoint they had. Collective leadership, a high sense of democratic responsibility, and respect for the will of the people prevailed. Chairperson, the list that we had initially of candidates was about 78, which was double the number that we had during the 2009 process. This list came down to 59 after other candidates pulled out from the race to become South Africa's Public Protector 2016 to 2023. Chairperson, this committee held 7 meetings, and it is important to acknowledge and to thank all the parties because we held this process during a very, very difficult season, the local government election season. Yet the political parties made an effort to make sure that they participated fully in the process. Madam Speaker, the committee was guided by the relevant constitutional and statutory provisions, as well as the rules of the National Assembly. In terms of Section 193, subsection 4 of the Constitution, the President must appoint a public protector on the recommendation of the National Assembly. Regarding the role of the National Assembly, Section 193, subsection 5 of the Constitution provides that the National Assembly must nominate a committee, as earlier said, constituted, as earlier said, and approved by the Assembly by a resolution adopted with the supporting vote of at least 60%, which is 240 members of this House. The committee notes in this regard that Parliament has yet to develop comprehensive guidelines for committees that are similarly tasked. The committee considered the method of previous ad hoc committees mandated to nominate persons for appointment as public protector and found that although these had developed their own processes, unfortunately they were not sufficiently documented and were not as comprehensive as the public demanded during this time. The committee, therefore, had to develop its own process to complement the applicable constitutional and legal framework, and has made use of a range of tools to establish a suitably qualified candidate. Madam Speaker, House Chairperson, House Chairperson. Anyway, I'm gender unconscious. House Chairperson, The most important thing is that public participation in this process was central. This is consistent with Section 193 of the Constitution that provides the involvement of civil society in the recommendation process as envisaged in Section 59, subsection 1 of the Constitution. Chairperson, to facilitate public participation, the committee adopted the following mechanisms: the advertisement requesting nominations or applications for the position of public protector from members of the public appeared in all official languages in various newspapers throughout the country. The adverts also appeared on Parliament website. The closing date for nomination or applications was 24 June 2016. The committee, as I said, received 78 applications and 16 of which declined. On the 28th June 2016, the committee published the names of all candidates with their accompanying curriculum vitae on parliamentary website. Members of the public were given until 8 July 2016 to make submissions on the candidates. The committee received more than 100 submissions. This excludes the submissions received from Corruption Watch, which did a sterling job on each candidate. Chairperson, as you know, the Public Protector Act 23 of 1994 sets out the applicable criteria for the appointment as public protector. It clearly stipulates that the public protector must meet the fit and proper criteria and must be a South African citizen. And it also goes on into mentioning that the public protector has to be the judge of a high court, or an admitted attorney, or an academic who has practiced, who has been in that field for a cumulative years of more than 10 years. Chairperson, before shortlisting took place, all candidates were requested to complete a questionnaire that was based broadly on the questionnaire that the Judicial Services Commission makes use of in the case of judicial appointments and contained disclosure provisions. This assisted members to ascertain the fit and proper of candidates. In addition, the committee agreed that the academic qualifications and related information of those shortlisted would have to be verified, and that Parliament should be asked to facilitate the screening process of this candidate. We do want to thank you, Honorable House Chairperson, as you actually assisted us in this process. Hence, we had the screening process that was done. The committee agreed on 4 broad areas to guide members with their scrutiny of candidates, namely knowledge, skills, experience, and character. The character refers to the moral compass of each candidate, and we left it to the members to decide themselves. I have the pleasure to advise the members that the 14 shortlisted candidates, 2 of them were judges of the High Court, 2 of them were professors of law, 7 of them were admitted advocates with cumulative 10 years experience, and the 3 of them were admitted attorneys with relevant experience. Chairperson, the interviews were conducted at Parliament on the 11th August 2016, beginning at 8 a.m. and ended on the 12th August 2016 at 3:10 a.m. As the interviews were being broadcast live on Parliament's television channel, the committee agreed to interview all candidates in one sitting. This was to ensure that no candidate was able to gain an unfair advantage by following other being interviewed on television. And I do need to say, Honorable House Chairperson, that this is a process that is a learning curve. And obviously there is no process that is perfect. And there is always a room for improvement. The committee then, after that, shortlisted the 5 candidates, which included the 2 judges, Judge Cherise Erikwena, Judge Siraj John Desai, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, Ms. Advocate Mvango Antoinette Lukaimane, and Professor Bongani Christopher Majola. I also do want to say that as women, we were very proud because out of the 14 that we initially shortlisted, 8 of them were women, and they were not there because of their gender orientation. They were there on merit. Chairperson, it is therefore my pleasure, Chairperson, to state that this committee is recommending to this august House Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane to the President for the appointment as Public Protector. This woman was phenomenal in many respects. She was the only candidate, as a matter of fact, who even remembered each question that was asked to her, and even the names of those people who asked the questions. And this is the candidate that was also supported by the members of the public. Honorable House Chairperson, I do want to say to the members that in considering this report, I would like to express our appreciation to all the political parties in the first instance for taking time in their hectic schedule during a very difficult local government election season to take part in this process. We also wanted to express our deepest gratitude to the South African public and civil society for reclaiming their space in the processes of Parliament. We also thank the members of staff for their diligence during this process. The report is tabled for your consideration. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Members, the question before the House is the approval of nomination of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane for appointment as Public Protector. Are there any objections to the nomination?
Chairperson?
Yes, Honourable Member.
The DA would like to make a declaration, please. Thank you.
I've received requests for declaration or vote. In terms of Rule 108, I will now allow one member of each political party wishing to make a declaration the opportunity to do so within the time allocation as determined by the Rules Committee. Namely, the ANC 7 minutes, the DA 5 minutes, the EFF 4 minutes, and all other parties 3 minutes. The Democratic Alliance?
Thank you, House Chair. The Democratic Alliance will not be
Order, honourable members.
The nomination of Ms. Busisiwe Mkhwebane as the new Public Protector today. Before I deal with the reasons why not, I'd like to thank the Chairperson for running a relatively clean ship and running a relatively efficient committee. I think she did quite a good job, so well done. I want to remind the honourable members of this House what the Constitutional Court has said about the Office of the Public Protector and what its function really is. In the Nkandla judgment, the Court unanimously stated that, like other Chapter 9 institutions, the Office of the Public Protector was created to strengthen constitutional democracy in the Republic. To achieve this crucial objective, it is required to be independent and subject only to the Constitution and the law. It is demanded of it to be impartial and to exercise the powers and functions vested in it without fear, favour and prejudice. The constitutional safeguards in Section 181 would be meaningless if institutions purportedly established to strengthen our constitutional democracy lacked even the remotest possibility to do so. The Public Protector is therefore one of the most invaluable constitutional gifts to our nation in the fight against corruption, unlawful enrichment, prejudice and impropriety in state affairs, and for the betterment of good governance. For this reason, our Constitution conceived of a way to give a voice, especially to the poor and marginalised, and teeth that would fight corruption and abuse effectively, and that is the Public Protector. Yesterday in the McBride matter, the Constitutional Court found that independence primarily means that the anti-corruption body should be shielded from undue political influence. To this end, genuine political will to fight corruption is the key prerequisite. Bearing in mind the direction provided by the highest court in our country, The DA cannot support the nomination of Ms. Mkhwebane for the following reasons. Her appointment would be unreasonable, as she was by no means the best candidate for the position and was illogically preferred over other qualifying candidates. She has little or no practical experience to justify such an appointment when compared with the experience of the other candidates. She was employed by Home Affairs as a director immediately prior to this process being initiated. She changed employment in June 2016 and went to the State Security Agency as an analyst. When asked in the interview why she had changed jobs for what is ostensibly a demotion, her reply was that she was passionate about the Constitution. Well, this is a noble value to hold, but it alone does not make her eligible for the position or separate her from other more qualified candidates. And more worryingly, we have been advised that the time spent as an immigration officer in China is highly suspicious, having been informed that there is simply coded language for being on the payroll of the State Security Agency. In the absence of a logical explanation for what is seen as a demotion, the ineluctable conclusion is unfortunately that Ms. Mkhwebane is on the payroll of the State Security Agency. This situation is problematic, and in the current climate in the country, where the justified view is held that President Jacob Zuma is abusing state departments, the SSA in particular, to hang on to power at all costs, we hold the view that the public protector cannot be seen to be even remotely connected to the State Security Agency. While this doesn't make Ms. Mkhwebane the worst candidate, it does not make her the best candidate either. Additionally, Madam Chairperson of the
Order,
committee,
honourable members.
she could not confirm that she had acquired any combination of experience for a cumulative period of at least 10 years as demanded by the Constitution. Other issues that gave rise to concern and move us to be unwilling to support her nomination are the following. Both Judge Wiener and Professor Madola were stronger candidates in terms of experience and in terms of the quality of the interviews. Professor Madola as a candidate brings the added bonus of his involvement in the Special Tribunal in Rwanda. He has had a certain distance from the government in South Africa, while Ms. Mkhwebane has stated on record that she wants to have a more friendly relationship with government. With the ever-present danger of state capture by the President, and the fact that all independent institutions with an investigative capacity have already been captured, leaving only the Office of the Public Protector and the judiciary relatively untouched, it is of enormous importance to ensure that and secure that the appointment of the new Public Protector is beyond suspicion. We therefore view the single-minded support of Ms. Mkhwebane as unreasonable. The DA believes in the rule of law and stopping corruption. To this end, we have worked tirelessly during this process to appoint the new Public Protector, to ensure that the best person is appointed to serve the interests of the people. We should also remember that Ms. Madonsela was vilified by the ANC inside and outside of this House. To those supporting Ms. Mkhwebane now, saying she must find her own moral compass, accused Mrs. Madonsela of being arrogant, a law unto herself and a spy. Do not for one moment lose sight of the fact that the Honourable Sophomoric Deputy Minister of Defence called Trudy Madonsela a CIA plant and accused her of undermining the ANC. We cannot risk
Honourable
another
member, your
encounter.
time has expired.
We cannot risk these principles, and we cannot support the nomination of Ms. Mkhwebane.
Order, honourable members. Order. Honourable Shavambu. Order, honourable members.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. The Economic Freedom Fighters supports the appointment of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane as the Public Protector of South Africa. We believe that she did decidedly better than all the candidates that came for the interviews in the process of selecting a Public Protector for the next 7 years in South Africa. We're particularly impressed by her understanding of the independence of the Public Protector's Office, that it is only accountable to the Constitution and, of course, administratively accountable to Parliament. We are also impressed by her experience and familiarity with the Office of the Public Protector, having worked there before for more than 5 years, established offices during a tenure as an employee in the Office of the Public Protector. We think that quality is going to make her capable to hit the ground running when she takes over office. But also we're impressed by her commitment and determination to make the Office of the Public Protector accessible, meaning that the people of Mhlabya Lingana, the people of Malamlele, the people of Jozini, the people of Emadlangeni, the people of Gekeng are going to have access to the Office of the Public Protector because she has got the most believable and practical plan on how the people can gain access to the Office of the Public Protector. But also she said herself that she is not politically affiliated and does not have any relations with any politicians. If that information is covered to be not true, the EFF will go for judicial review because we have appointed her on wrong information. So we believe what she said, that she is not politically affiliated and that she does not have any relations with any politician. So we believe the presentation that she gave us. We are going to ask few things from her. Number one is that Public Protector Mkhwebane must serve with integrity and consistency. Number two is that he must not be captured by politicians. Never sell your soul to politicians, particularly the incumbent government, because soon they are not going to be in government. In 2019, majority of these people whom you think are senior in government are not going to be government of South Africa. They're going to be opposition, so it will not help you with anything. But also, you must be humble. You must have the temperament that you demonstrated during the interview process. You must not be easy to be angered by anyone because there will be lots of criticisms that are going to come your way as a public protector. Those are the things that we are asking from you. But also want to use this opportunity to pay tribute to Advocate Tulima Donsela for a job well done. She has done very well as a public protector. She indeed became the biblical David who fought the most powerful and the well-resourced Goliath, and she emerged victorious. We have since written to the Speaker of the National Assembly that in terms of Rule 62, we should invite Advocate Tulima Donsela to come and address this House because we can take a resolution to do so. So she must be allowed to bid farewell and give certain advices to public administrators, to politicians, on how do we avoid circumstances where we are going to misuse public resources. We're going to avoid the undue benefits. We're going to avoid undue delays in the provision of services. I think we must give that opportunity to the outgoing public protector. But we support the Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane as the incoming public protector. We've got faith in her. We're going to work with her. Where we disagree.
Your time has now expired. Thank you. The Honorable Professor Nsimang. Order, honorable members.
Thank you, Honorable House Chair. The rigorous process of selecting a successor to the current public protector was characterized by two important features: transparency and public participation. To ensure transparency, everything about the applicants and nominees, including their applications and profiles, was published online and in the traditional media. To ensure public participation, members of the public were invited to participate early on in the process. We went further and we invited all citizens to attend our interview sessions and also to watch these on television and other media. We ended up with 59 applicants and nominees, which were rigorously screened and reduced to 14 that were eventually interviewed. The interviews whittled the candidates from 14 to 5, from which came the selected candidate, Busisiwe Mkhwebane. The chairperson of the ad hoc committee, Dr. Makosi Khoza, guided us to adopt 3 principles of procedure. These were to ensure openness and objectivity. Firstly, all candidates would be interviewed on the same day to guarantee that no candidate had any advantage over any other. In practice, this led to a marathon interview process which although I had initially supported, with hindsight, I now realize that it was not necessary, as each candidate had her or his distinguishing traits, which resulted in different style of questioning. Secondly, members of the committee were given latitude to question candidates on all negative comments on their character, particularly those that had led to disciplinary action or litigation. This gave the candidates the opportunity to respond to disparaging comments in line with our alteram partem maxim, which forms the cornerstone of our jurisprudence. As a person who actually shortlisted Advocate Mkhwebane, I accordingly reject in the strongest terms disparaging comments on her character which have been posted by the DA on the social media. We are not prepared to entertain such without substantive proof being submitted before the proper forums, and at this stage we accordingly give Advocate Mkhwebane the benefit of the doubt. Thirdly, we resolved to reach our conclusion through consensus, only resorting to voting only if consensus failed. All these were efforts to ensure that we present this August House with a candidate who is in the same league
Honourable
as
Member,
Advocate
your time has now
Madonsela,
expired.
and that candidate is Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The NFP.
Honourable Chairperson, members of the House, guests in the gallery, the National Freedom Party supports the recommendation of the ad hoc committee to nominate a person for the position of the Public Protector tabled here today. We are saying, Malibongwe, igama lamakhosikazi. Chairperson, we participated in the lengthy process and we concur with the chairperson of the ad hoc committee that Advocate Busisiwe Joyce Mkhwebane is a fit and a proper candidate to be appointed to the position of a public protector. The NFP believes that Advocate Mkhwebane is a well-experienced, well-educated, brave, intelligent young female who must be supported and be given a chance. Overall, we are highly impressed with the extraordinary depth of experience and capacity of all the candidates who were shortlisted, and coming to a final decision was not easy. The office of the Public Protector has come of age in South Africa, and it will be remiss of us not to acknowledge the enormous contribution which the outgoing Public Protector, Advocate Madonsela, had made during her term of office to establish the independence of this valuable Chapter 9 institution. Under her guidance, Advocate Madonsela has accelerated the workload of the Public Protector's office and cast the net of accountability wider than what it ever had been before. Through her resolve and determined dedication, she fiercely upheld the trust which had been placed in her, and in doing so has earned the respect and admiration of the general public and enhanced our emergent democracy, setting a high standard for all else to follow. The new Public Protector indeed has enormous challenge ahead, and it is one which will have to be met head on. We have no doubt that there will be enormous pressure brought upon the government to compromise on the independence of the office of the Public Protector. And we have, as we've seen happening to Advocate Madonsela, we implore the new Public Protector to stand firm against such an onslaught and to continue serving the interests of democracy above all other consideration without fear or favor. I thank you. We support Advocate Busisiwe Joyce Mkhwebane as a new Public Protector of the Republic. And we are positive that the President will indeed sign her in as a new Public Protector of the Republic. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable Kwankwa.
Thank you, House Chair and honourable members. This debate on the appointment of a new public protector takes place when government institutions that are supposed to serve our people have been captured by powerful private interests whose primary preoccupation is private gain. And this is sadly beginning to shape the institutional trajectory of our nation. We are therefore compelled to take steps to strengthen our Chapter 9 institutions in order to ensure that they are independent, they exercise and perform their functions without fear or favor, and are subject only to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. The Office of the Public Protector is one such office and is in fact critical in ensuring democratic accountability. These were our guiding principles in deciding who should succeed the current Public Protector, Advocate Thulima Donsela, who in our view has served our nation with distinction in this role. Fellow South Africans, after careful consideration, the UDM has decided to support the appointment of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane as Public Protector of the Republic of South Africa. Not only did she emerge as one of the top candidates during the interview, Advocate Mkhwebane, with her experience, also worked as a senior investigator in the Office of the Public Protector for 6 years, which means that she has a good understanding of the operations of the office. Some have asserted that she is unknown, which is true, but so was Advocate Thulima Donsela when she took over that position. Fellow South Africans, we should not make it a crime for our people to work in government departments. Unless there's evidence of wrongdoing on her part, or that she has used a position in state security to advance the interests of some other faction of the ruling party, the UDM does not see how we can hold her working for state security against her. Bendithetha nomongameli wami uthi umzekelo abantu abangayi-understand into ye-security bayalibala ukuthi aba bantu bane-clearance ithetha ukuthi bathembekile and bayawazi umcimbi and they work for the interests of all South Africans. In addition to that, state as a concept is an inclusive concept, very inclusive. We would have a problem, for instance, if people were to say she worked for government security rather than state security. Because state security, you have to work for everyone. Colleagues, let me remind you that we were wrong on Judge Mkhwebane and on INC Chairperson Mr. Glenn Mashinini. We believe that their perceived close proximity to President Zuma would jeopardize their independence. On the contrary, these compatriots have proven to be great leaders who are committed to the cause of nation building. However, in their cases, we could find solace in the fact that we erred on the side of caution. Fast forward to Advocate Mkhwebane. Without evidence of wrongdoing on her part, or a clear link between her and President Zuma, on what basis would we block her appointment as the public protector?
Honourable Member, your time has now expired.
Malibongwe, igama lamakhosikazi. Wathinta abafazi, wathinta imbokotho.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
Bambela amasela.
The next speaker is the Honourable Mulder. Order, Honourable Members.
Honourable House Chair.
Order, Honourable Members.
This is a serious matter. The appointment of the Public Protector is always a serious matter, but I would like to start off in lighter vein, perhaps, given the late hour of the day. I think opposing the appointment of the Public Protector reminds me of a story about a person who was very ill. And the person was allegedly on his deathbed, and the priest wanted him to denounce the devil. But the person refused. And then the answer came, but why do you don't want to denounce the devil? And the answer came and it said, it's not a good time to make new enemies. Now, with all due respect to my colleagues, we all understand that the Chapter 9 institutions are very important. They are the cornerstones in terms of strengthening and consolidating our democracy. Very important in that respect. And we understand that perhaps there's a flaw in the Constitution because the Constitution clearly states that you only need 60% for the appointment of the Public Protector. And we all know that that means you need 240 votes. The ruling party by themselves have 249 votes. So technically speaking, the ruling party could have appointed any person they like in terms of the provisions of the Constitution currently. Preferably, the Public Protector should be appointed unanimously by all. That is the preference I think would be the best to send a strong message out there. But obviously, we respect the position by the Democratic Alliance and let's be honest, there are certain concerns. But it's difficult at this stage to say that those concerns should override the other reality. Soms in die politiek moet jy 'n keuse maak tussen sleg en slegter. And I think today we're in such a position. Obviously, we would have preferred to have a different candidate perhaps, but that's not the reality. In terms of what's in front of us, we have to take a certain decision. So, Chairperson, we will support obviously the appointment of the person proposed by the ad hoc committee, but if there's one office that has been scrutinized more than all the other Chapter 9 institutions, that would be the Office of the Public Protector in the last couple of years because of things that happened in South Africa. And there is no such clarity in terms of what is expected of that office, in terms of what the Constitutional Court said, in terms of the interpretation of the provisions in the Constitution, that that person will have to act in that manner, and we will be focusing on that and scrutinize the new Public Protector to make sure that she do what is expected of her in that sense. One person at the right time and right place can make a difference. And Thuli Madonsela made that difference. We all know that. Time will tell if Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane will make also a difference. Let's see, wait, and see what happens. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Honourable Carter.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chair, at the outset, the Congress of the People expresses its sincere appreciation to Advocate Thuli Madonsela for the competent, impartial, ethical and courageous manner in which she exercised her powers and performed her functions as the public protector, without fear, favour or prejudice, and in the face of unwarranted intimidation and abuse by the ANC, the executive and the ANC cabal within this House. The fact of the matter is that Advocate Madonsela was never the enemy of the Republic of South Africa or a foreign agent, as some have painted her. She was mandated by the Constitution to investigate any conduct in state affairs or in public administration in any sphere of government that was alleged or suspected to be improper or to result in any impropriety or prejudice. It is the conduct of those that she investigated and found against who are the enemy of our country and its people. As Cicero said, and I quote, "A nation can survive its fools and even the ambitious, but it cannot survive treason from within." Speaker, the Congress of the People commends the role played by civil society groups, particularly Corruption Watch, who sensitized the public regarding the role and the importance of the office of a public protector, and in the fitness or otherwise of the candidates considered for this position. The committee has also proved that the members can burn the late night candle, and we are thanking them for a job well done. Speaker, the Office of a Public Protector stands between good and bad governance and between ethical conduct and the abuse of power with impunity. In our opinion, there are South Africans with integrity, gravitas and standing who could be considered for the office and who could be trusted with exercising the powers and performing the functions of a public protector without fear, favour or prejudice. Advocate Madonsela leaves very big shoes to be filled. There are questions hanging over Advocate Mkhwebane's head that have not been adequately explained, if they can be explained at all. And as a nation, we cannot continue to appoint people to positions of trust where there are unresolved concerns about their integrity and bona fides. Chair, as a consequence, COPE will abstain from the recommendation that Advocate Mkhwebane be appointed as the new public protector. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Honourable Chaisa.
Thank you very much, Honourable House.
Order, Honourable Members.
We as AIC also support the appointment of this great woman of Africa. Being a public protector is not a child's play. This woman seems to be a woman who can work with the ordinary people with ease. She has got leadership qualities. She's a woman of great integrity. She's learned and has got a lot of experience. She seems not to be a yes pass. Of course, she'll do exactly as her predecessor or even more. She did not seem to be corrupt. Of course, many were called, but one has been chosen. We wish this great woman good luck and appreciate the fact that she is going to be appointed to such a high position as a woman. We also wish that now many women should be appointed to these high positions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The next speaker is the Honourable Swart.
Thank you, House Chair. House Chair, the ACDP would firstly like to commend the chairperson of the committee, Dr. Khoza, for the open and transparent manner in which this process was conducted. The level of public participation was unparalleled and unprecedented, and our thanks also to all those that contributed, Corruption Watch, for their extensive research on each and every candidate. And so this process enjoyed incredible public interest and scrutiny, mainly given the incredible work that Advocate Madonsela has done up to now and the large shoes that had to be followed. She was indeed, as the Constitutional Court said, one of the true crusaders and champions of anti-corruption and clean governance, and we believe that she should be thanked properly and in due time. Now, although the chairperson indicated that the majority party was seeking a consensus candidate and we from the opposition were also trying to do that, it appeared from the beginning that they favoured Judge Desai. And once all the interviews had been conducted, a short list of 5 names was drawn up. And while objections were raised against other candidates, at that stage, no one objected to Advocate Mkhwebane. It is also important, and that doesn't mean you can't object later, but it is also important to remember that she was nominated by the IFP, and she seemed to us to be that possible consensus candidate to bring all the parties together. And at that stage, we were fully aware of the fact that she'd been employed by State Security for just 1 month. But there was another candidate on that short list of 5 members who'd spent 6 years at State Security, and no one seemed to have a problem with that. So we sit now with allegations which, if proved to be true, are very serious. Because if it is true that years ago Advocate Mkhwebane worked for State Security, then she misled Parliament. And of course there can be recourse to the courts. But at this stage we would like to give her the benefit of the doubt. She had an excellent interview and is an exceptional and outstanding candidate. And of course there are also sufficient safeguards to ensure that the Office of the Public Protector is not compromised. The court has clarified the duties. We've got the own staff that will be watching. We've got the media, we've got civil society, and of course we as parliamentarians will be watching very closely what she does and how she conducts her office, as Honourable Malema said, to ensure that there are no shenanigans in that office. And let us be reminded that there were similar objections to the Chief Justice Mkhwebane. When he was appointed, the ACDP supported that nomination, and he's shown himself to be loyal to the high position he holds in the judiciary. So while we appreciate the concerns of the DA, I believe that Advocate Mkhwebane and the ACDP believes that she should be given the opportunity to prove herself, given that she is capable and the closest we could come to a consensus candidate. I thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The next speaker is Honourable Pluama.
Honourable Chair,
Order, Honourable Members.
I get lots in Yaswaka. Me cause our very kilemme, Mobu Moba Angrelewam. Saubedi, Resapota, a candidate, Rabana Rena, Araba Porofita, Arzburuira, Alanka, Mosor, Sanjira Mofe Chance, Averek. And re gopela hore ma South Africa otlhe a fe mme chance o re gatlhile ka mogo a ile a araba dipotšišo ka ona le mebereko a fetileng mo yona, and then re nana re jwa mo kgweding ya bomme, and then ka tsela e re bona e le goreng ke candidate e botse e kgethilweng. Re gopela gore ka moka re mo feng supporto o tshwana le ka mogone re fa Public Protector Madonsela supporto ka teng. And ke tshepa gore o tlo bja nong re tlo tšwela pele re mothege e se fefela mo fa supporto fela today ka bošura thoma mo criticize hape re sena mabaka ke lebo menagane Honourable Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The next speaker is Honourable Binda.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me, on behalf of the PAC, start by recognizing the outstanding job that our outgoing public protector has done in her term of office. As a nation, we were blessed with a courageous African woman who, against any form of intimidation, could stand tall and speak the truth to authority. Honorable Chair, as a country, we need a public protector who will continue to crack the whip against any wrongdoing, especially by the authorities, like our outgoing Thuli Madonsela has done. As the PAC will remain unshaken in our deliberate program to liberate and develop women, we remain resolute with the role of our capacitated and capable female members of our society, like Umama Donsela, and our preferred successor, Busisiwe Mkhwebane. As the PAC, we are glad to see another capable African woman filling in the shoes of another capable African woman, so as to continue to dispel the notion that the Africans are inferior or they are just human beings with a potential. We want to condemn any petty political grandstanding based on unfounded allegations waged against Busisiwe Mkhwebane. We are saying to all those criticizing that your stands belong to dirty box of history, where African women were only fit to be in kitchen girls. As the PAC, we remain resolute behind the appointment of Busisiwe Mkhwebane.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The next speaker is the Honourable Gordy.
Thank you.
Order, Honourable Members.
Thank you, Honourable House Chair, comrades and Honourable Members. The APC stands to support the recommendation for the appointment of Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane for appointment as Public Protector. We hail the recommendation of a woman to succeed another woman purely on her capabilities. The APC congratulates Parliament for a transparent, impartial and public process. This exercise confirms the truism that as Parliament, if we focus on the work at hand and exert ourselves properly, we can find each other, take decisions and make choices in the best interest of the country that puts Parliament in the best light. We are convinced that the recommended Advocate Mkhwebane will consolidate on the work of a predecessor, Advocate Thuli Madonsela, and propel the work of that office to new heights. We hope that the new Public Protector will further enhance access, give priority to issues raised by ordinary citizens and communities, especially those in the rural areas, the farms, communities with mines, etc. This House would be celebrating the unanimous appointment of Advocate Mkhwebane, were it not for the fly in the ointment, the DA. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The next speaker is Honourable Bongo.
Thank you.
Order, Honourable Members, order.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chair. The African National Congress support the appointment of Advocate Mkhwebane. As the African National Congress, we would like to thank all the civil society organizations that had assisted the committee until today. Advocate Mkhwebane, as a candidate, has proved to be fit and proper, and she has complied with the fit and properness in terms of the legislation, the prescribed legislation. Honourable Chair, one of the considerations of the committee was that we needed a person who will hit the ground running. So Advocate Mkhwebane has proved that she has once served in the office of the Public Protector, and she served there and acted in Gauteng as the head. So with that appointment, I think it will make sure that she is able to take from where Advocate Thuli Madonsela is going to live. In the interview, she has proven in terms of the legislation, particularly the Public Protectors Act, that says that the person who must be appointed must act without fear or favor. She has demonstrated that character in that particular interview. At Home Affairs, she has acquired various skills, general management skills and financial management skills. On the 4th of July, she was appointed by the State Security Agency, and that appointment was for until today. Honorable Chair, there are allegations that were raised by the Democratic Alliance that Advocate Mkhwebane is a spy. I want to respond and say that those allegations are contemptful, unsubstantiated, and just allegations and evidence of grandstanding and petty politicking by the DA. But this does not come as a surprise from the DA. What we want to say is the African National Congress that the act is very clear. It does not say that the person who must be appointed must not be employed by any other agent. But as government, we need to take certain initiative to teach our people in our communities about the important role played by the State Security Agency, because its role in the main is the protection of the integrity and the sovereignty of the Republic. We want to say to the DA that they must give us evidence of what they are raising in the social media and in the papers, because all they say that there is a source that has told them. If they can't bring the source, we want to say to them, it's actually themselves who are spies. Honorable Chairperson, we are not surprised by this action by the Democratic Alliance, because when President Jacob Zuma appointed the Chief Justice, they said it was a wrong appointment. Later on, they're saying it's a good appointment. When Advocate Thuli Madonsela was appointed, they said it was a wrong appointment. Later on, they attempted to co-opt her. More often in this House, Honorable Chair, when we pass very serious and important legislation like the division of revenue bills, they always decline to vote with us. And they claim that they want to represent the majority of our people. Because division of the revenue bills deals with issues of health, social grants, and so on and so forth. They don't vote, which means that they don't care about the plight of our people. President Mandela, as he then was, warned us and warned the people of South Africa about the DA. He said, and I quote, "You must not be misled by a party that only cares for black people on the eve of elections. No white party can run this country. No matter how they cover up by getting fewer blacks to be their stooges, they remain the bosses. They remain a white party." It is against
Order,
that
honorable
background.
members.
It is against this background that the DA wanted Judge Weiner at all costs, even if she could not demonstrate any experience whatsoever in the field of human rights. I would like, Chair, to thank all other opposition parties that have supported the African National Congress on this one. We would like to say to you, we have acted with objectivity. We want to thank you very much. We also want to thank Advocate Thuli Madonsela for the work that she has done.
Honorable Chairperson.
Why are you rising, honorable member?
We are not supporting the ANC chairperson. We are supporting the committee and the new public protector.
That's not a point of order, honorable member. Continue, honorable member. Order, honorable members. Order. Will you conclude now, honorable member?
Okay, thank you. I agree with him, Honorable Chair. What I was saying was that we would like to thank all other opposition parties for the objectivity that they've displayed in this process. And what I want to say finally is that the ANC is committed in building a really united, non-racial, non-sexist, and a prosperous country. ANC iyabusa, ANC isazobusa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, honorable member. Order, honorable members. I now put order. Order. Order, honourable member. I now put the question. Those in favour of the question before the House will say aye. And those against will say no. I think the ayes have it.
Chairperson, the DA calls for a division.
Order, honourable members. Order. Order, honourable members. A division having been called for, the bells will be rung for 5 minutes.
Once you say pause and resume, pause the highway. Once you pause and resume,
So we're stepping out of Parliament, and the House is about to vote on whether they're going to make Busisiwe Mkhwebane the new public protector, and it looks like there's general consensus, of course, that objection by the DA, but otherwise most people are quite happy with her nomination.
She is seen as a strong candidate. So.
And in fact, the